Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining me for week 2 and the near end of my coverage of Hurricane Florence. I've been warning y'all about her since August 31st, and so we will see this journey to an end, and apparently I have not wasted my time because it is now Wednesday at 9 a.m., and Hurricane Florence is a major Category 4 monster that is just off the South Atlantic coast. People, meteorologists, models think they have dialed in the track a little more, and we are watching her possibly undergoing a new eye wall replacement. And as you can see, she is definitely bigger than a single state like North Carolina or South Carolina. Even Georgia, you could possibly even put, she's about as big as 2 of those states. So I hope you have planned and prepared properly. I know that the waters are very hot here. There is some wind shear, but it appears she's going to hit as a Category 3 to even possibly Category 5 tomorrow morning. I think we have somewhere around 20 to 24 hours between landfall. Now let's take a look at what the models are talking about as she approaches. You have, this is the NAM on approach at 150 mile per hour wind gusts. The Euro has about 128 mile per hour wind gusts. And then the GFS comes in the weakest with 93 mile per hour wind gusts. She's going to definitely pack a ton of rain. And these are, it's for every 3 hours. So there are 8 3-hour increments in a day. So this is 40 inches of rain possible in a single day. So you get possibly devastating storm surge with this storm as it makes landfall. Now we'll watch as this is the NAM, because the track on this, as it has no apparent steering current, when it reaches the shore, it's going to make it a bit of a floater, a sitter and a spinner. And some of the models have it bringing the majority of its landfall down the coast. You can see the NAM starts to go south. The European brings us in. So it definitely looks like the models are taking it souther than they were last night or over the last several days, where it was leaning towards a higher North Carolina fall. We are now closer to the southern border. And the models seem agreement that is going to hit and spin down. Though this storm has been extremely weird and wild, and so there's no reason to underestimate it. But look, this would be Saturday, and it would still have 100 mile per hour winds as its eye coasted down the coast. And then it would officially make landfall and go in somewhere around Monday. Though technically when the eye crosses the land, no one knows, but this looks to be a 4 or 5 day event regardless. So this thing has the potential to be cataclysmic damage, major storm surge over 10 feet, rain of upwards of 40 inches possible, and the ground is saturated from a summer of rain. The river levels are high. So people need to take this as seriously as possible. But it looks like, especially after last year, and weather the weather team across the United States has covered this so well. People seem as prepared as they've been in a while. And they seem to have reacted better to it this year than in many of the past. And it's good to see a lot of people, even though I'm sure there are some that say I've been through hurricanes before, though not like this, and not here. So I definitely would want to be there waiting this out. The heaviest of the rains and storm surge will come from the east side of this side over here, the eye wall. And its stall over land, like I said, has a chance to bring for dang heavy rain. So I need everybody to buckle in. And although they're getting closer to, we hope, nailing down the path of this storm, there are a lot of complicated factors and a lot of unknowns in exactly where it will go, what it will do, and how long it will stay there. But it has had some dust on the underside, slow a bit of its development. But she is definitely super powerful right now and still has potential to hit with about 150 mile per hour wind speeds. We are still hoping and praying for a miracle of an out to sea at the last minute, but that's looking less likely. But it doesn't hurt to pray. But as you can see, she's just been a fighter and a kicker. And then we have our development in the Gulf, which is now up to like 60% chance over the next 48 hours of development. It has not developed that well, thank God. If you notice, in my opinion, the two are kind of in tandem, so don't drop your guard anytime in September, because this is not the be-all, end-all of peak hurricane season. We still have a few weeks to go before the waters are too cold to support hurricane development. And as you can see, we have a very active situation with Invest 95, Hurricane Florence, Isaac, which is more troubling and looks like, wait, Isaac looks like he's getting ripped apart. That is good news. Helene, who's supposed to go totally north, and then we have a giant wave rolling off of Africa as we speak. And it does look like Helene is actually lifting off north, so cranky weather guy was right again. Because like I said, when I have like, oh my God, cranky and paranoid that Helene is not going to go north. She's going to plow into Florida. And he's like, no, it's not going to happen. I'm like, okay, good. One less thing I got to worry about. And I highly recommend Cranky Weather Guy has a blog. You can follow him on Twitter. I'll leave his blog link at stormhamster.com, resources.htm. And now we're looking at Florence. And as you can see, look at the waves radiate out, man. Yeah, she has some nasty potential, so I haven't seen the reports on how the highways are now. But it seemed like everybody kind of took this thing seriously, and a lot of people have evacuated. Over 1 million people have evacuated. So if you are one of the scragglers, I still think there is time to go west. Young man or young woman or middle-aged man, middle-aged woman. I agree, cake improves almost everything. Now we're going to look down at my timeline real quick and follow the local evacuation orders. And like I said, it's a good time to follow your intuition. Always listen to your pets and don't forget your pets. And if you do decide to leave, if you have any of your poor friends who got left behind, maybe offer them a seat in your minivan, take them with you, get them some ramen noodles and some peanuts. We all need to be together, and this is a team. We talk a lot about storm surge because it's the number one killer in hurricanes. And the feet of water that can be pushed onshore during a hurricane, this is what it means. Forecast for the storm surge near where I am in Surf City, North Carolina, is 9 to 13 feet. Greater than 9 feet. Yeah, so you don't want to be anywhere near that when that comes in. And it comes in fast like a punch. And it's going to push like a fistful of water onto the land. A giant, super giant fistful of water. We do either have a baby boom incoming with Florence. I urge all my family and friends in the Carolinas and in the entire East Coast to be careful. You can't afford to go to 27 baby showers in April because you lost power. So remember, you can always just stop at third base. You can both hit triples, and then you don't have to have a baby shower in 9 months if you really don't want one. That would be my presidential slogan. Third base for everybody. Dr. Jim Fox, 26. The risk of the tropical low in the Gulf becoming organized is down to 60%. The latest models have the system heading more to the south. That's good news for the Houston area. There will still be rain in the forecast, especially along the coast. And Texas has been getting hit hard, like many places, with heavy rain lately. And Stephanie Pillington, I cannot get over how stunning this image is. Florence is huge, powerful, and beautiful in a way that should be frightening. It's images like this that always make me wonder how we ever thought we could best Mother Nature. I know when we thought we could best Mother Nature, I think, at best or at worst, it's more like ignorance and greed. Hurricane Florence is putting on a show today. I don't think that show's going to stop until she gets over land, and then it's still going to take a few days. Then you have Manga Nahut, which is going to be a threat to Taiwan and China. The West Pacific has been getting hit pretty hard as well. Their nasty season is about a month before ours, which reminds us that we have just begun on what could be the sticky period. And I'm watching the Gulf intently. And Cranky has said, if we do have another spot that has trouble, or the next spot would be the Gulf. Because hopefully Florence has cooled the waters off some. And this is how the track shifted, where the major of the storm surge was north, and now it has shifted to the south. And so even more of South Carolina and even Georgia are in the danger zone. And Florence could flood hog manure pits, coal ash dumps. And as Eric Fisher points out, you can get excited if big, beautiful coal ash dumps are your thing. And then Alan Weather at AW Times NYC says, latest NWS WPC rainfall forecast, up to 3 feet of rain now possible along the south-north Carolina coast. This could be made even worse due to the surge piling water into tributaries. This could very well shift south once again, so check back for the latest. Alan's getting real good at those graphics, man. How bizarre. The Euro is now showing Florence to move south along the coast towards Savannah, Georgia. I believe Bobby Storm was talking about this last night. Or a week ago. This is highly unusual, but I will say nothing is impossible. Yeah, dude, it is 2018. It is like no other year you've known before. A big issue is with the stall. Storm surge will block up inlets and tributaries. Rainfall will have nowhere to go. Your ground is so saturated also that it can't soak in. And in big news, Hurricane Florence is going through another eye wall replacement cycle. Storm just finished one cycle yesterday where the size of the eye doubled. We could be seeing another expansion of the eye with this next cycle of that monstrous look at the eye in the next loop. So, yeah, the storm is a big major deal. If you're having second thoughts about staying or going, I always recommend safety over being sorry, or possibly dead, or even just being without power for a week or two. That's not very fun. And last thing, let us check what I base all my weather observations off of and their severity, and that would be the sun. And there's a giant T in the sun. That's cute. So you have the sun here, and we had our first giant major coronal hole pass by, and then we have the anomalies that pass past the camera that look like eclipses or planets passing. People said, why don't you talk about that more? And I said, well, I don't think that's going to hurt anybody right now, whereas the giant hurricane has the potential to kill quite a few people, which we are trying to avoid and have been working hard for 2 weeks, technically 10 months, to get people prepared for this hurricane season so we wouldn't lose any American lives or any lives of any nationality or anyone. As Planetary Defense Commander, I represent all people, all animals, and the planet itself. So, as you can see, the sun is looking pretty crazy. It's got its own little binary issues going on. So I will be here covering it for you. But when the sun acts weird, the weather acts weird, and then people act weird. So be prepared for some crazy days. I promise you, things will get better by November. And I love you. So stay tuned. I've been covering this like a champ the whole time, so there's no reason I'm going to stop now, right? Okay. Peace out. God bless everyone. Live long and prosper. May the force be with us always. And now, it's time to hit the button, baby.